Everyone, if
I'm here. I'm saying I'm here. We lost you. Yes, I'm online.
okay, my friend, thank you. Okay, everyone, since
Okay. All right.
I lost connection, I just started recording again. I hope I will combine it into one video after I'm finished. So I was just saying,
No problem.
when you're gonna draw your supply and demand, make sure that, for instance, if you identified, here's my annotation. If you identified this move here that I'm pointing right now as your supply, as a strong move in the price that went down aggressively, make sure that you also identify which candle is a basing candle. So when we are drawing a supply zone, make sure that we include a bullish candle in the zone, or as a basing candle. What I mean by that, I mean out of this whole move from here to here, make sure when you draw your zone, you include one bullish, at least actually, include at least one bullish candle. That's how you draw your zones or your basing candle. So you don't really have to worry about now that this is what is the name of the basing candle that you are using to draw your zone. But when you are advanced enough, you can take that into consideration. So for this point, we'll be using this candle here as our basing candle. So I just drew our monthly supply zone. So if you can notice here, our monthly supply zone is tested here on this area. And then can you see that this was a very beautiful opportunity for everyone to catch? And then if I can measure it, this monthly supply produced an average of 2,000 pips. 2,000 pips, but this one is for people who are swing traders. Let me now find a demand, then I will show you exactly how we could have traded this supply zone and demand zone on the lower time frames. So right now, let me just go to and find a demand zone. Let me find a demand zone. So we look down to the left. Let's go to the left. It seems as if we can't go further than this. So if you may allow me, Mr. Charles, my brother, I will draw this as a demand because it took out these basing candles here. Because, okay, I think before, I think I went too what's it? Too advanced because I was expecting people who already understand this. We have two different types. I was supposed to explain we have two different types of supply and demand. We have the one that is called a rally-based drop. We have drop-based drop. We have drop-based rally. We have rally-based rally. So this one is the one that is called I want to call this one where's my drawing? Rally-based drop. This is a rally-based drop, supply and demand. I think it was fine when I increased it. So this one is a rally-based drop, supply and demand. So this one, let me mark it in purple. There was this one is a drop-based drop. It's a very important form of demand, but it's not the strongest. The strongest one is the rally-based drop and the drop-based rally. So this move from here, the one that I'm starting to mark now as a GBP USD monthly demand, took out this previous opposing zone. So our opposing zone, the last time it was drawn something like this. All of these basing candles. All of these basing candles. Let me approve here. Okay, it was drawn as this basing candle. So what happened, my brother and my sister, the market say went as did a drop from here, a drop, and then the market did a base, and then a base here, and did a drop. Even though the drop was short-lived, it was not a strong drop in the market, but it's still considered as a drop. And Olwazi, are you still here? Are you in yet?
Yeah.
Okay. The lady, if she did not mean, I think she was cut off. I was explaining that there are two types of supply and demand. If she can hear me, it's a
Yeah, cuts off again.
Okay, not a problem. There are two types of supply and demand. There's a rally, base, and a drop, and a drop, base, drop, and a drop, base, rally, rally, base, rally. Okay, let me write it down in text here. If you like, you can take your notes. It's a rally, and a base, and a drop, which is a supply. That is a supply area. Supply. Okay, let's do another one. Supply. Are you still following me? So this one is a...
We are, yes.
It's a rally. For some reason, this thing, I don't know how to... Okay, another one, I'm going to figure a way on how to push it. Okay. Anyway, it's fine. Let me clear everything here. Let me clear all my drawings. For some reason. Okay. Okay, we have a rally base, which is also called as a valley. I mean, as a peak, which is a rally base drop. It's a peak, something like a V, inverted form of V. In other words, it's a V that is an upside down. Another one is a peak and a valley. A valley is always it's a normal V, normal type of V. So I want to erase this thing. I'm not so... Okay, let us use this one. So we have a rally. Oh my. Oh my. How do I clear all this and erase? It's fine. Let's do a supply first. Supply. We have a rally, base, and a drop. Drop, I mean. And then let's do a demand below this one. Demand. We have drop, base, rally. So this one, another one that goes along with this one. I'll find a way to drag this thing. Okay, it's fine. Okay. Is undo. Okay, undo. Let me try to undo all of these. For some reason. Okay, my only concern is those two blank, all those blank things here. Let me try and do this side. Supply is rally, is drop, and then is rally, drop, base, drop. So a supply can form two types of supply, which is rally base drop, drop base drop. And the demand can form a drop base rally and also form a rally base rally. Excuse me for taking a bit of time to explain these two. Okay, so here on my chart, I have here a rally base and a drop. That's where this whole move originated from. Here at the bottom, this is a drop base drop. Here at the top, at the bottom of the bottom, I have a drop, which is this move. I have this move as a drop, this one. Where's my color here? I have this whole move as a drop, and I have this one as a base, and I have this one as a rally. This one as a rally, which broke this previous supply. Are you still with me, guys?
Is.
Okay, these are the two forms of demand. We're gonna go to the weekly quickly up to the daily and draw our next supply and demand. So we extend this to the future, Lwazi and Mr. Charles. Both of these things are, this one is a tested area of demand, and also this one is a broken area. But even though it's a broken area, I would prefer to leave it here because even if it's broken here, it is still holding, because it is the one when the market was coming from this supply, it's where it's bounced and bounced again. It's where it bounced and gave a reaction. So I will leave it here even if it's a broken area of supply and demand. So let us move on to the daily, to a weekly now, weekly chart. I hope this one can be hit here now. Okay, from the weekly, what is happening now? You have a question? Okay, please, you can ask. You are breaking.
Ask.
Yes, you can ask, Lwazi.
English.
Yeah, damu akhuluma isiZulu akunankinga. Hello.
I didn't see this time.
You are breaking now.
Oh.
No, but maybe it's a network. Can you please, you can even write here on the comment, on the chat.
Shange, you are breaking. You could ask again. Your network.
Okay, please come again. You can even write here on the chat. You can write something here. Like I'm gonna say hi. You can type there the question. I'll check it. We are breaking now. We can't hear you. Okay, for now we'll move on to the weekly. Even though we can't hear you, but we can still go back and answer your question. So from this weekly chart, this is not indeed not a very beautiful place of demand right there, because we can see Guti is broken. Do you agree, Charles? This is obviously broken on the
yes, I do agree. It has really gone look like a stop hunt. It has gone down and come back.
Yes, that's true. This is a true stop hunt. So let me draw it this supply and demand the exact way I use what I draw for myself and make things look professional. So what I do, I use this one, a trend line. I want it to look neat and professional. Now, Lwazi, you can type your question while I'm still fixing this, or you can try speaking. Maybe we'll hear you. So I like to keep my chart clean. I'll draw it a little bit of a zone there. My basing candle, and then copy this one to the low and copy again. I like it to keep things simple like this. And then now let's move on. I think I took this one by mistake. Let's move to the weekly and find our supply and demand there. From the weekly chart.
So, okay, just to ask, by drawing a line alone now here again, that does mean now that you keep it in mind that that is a zone from the upper line and the lower line, because it's normally a zone. So that is always back in the mind that it's a zone.
Yes, it's a zone. It's not just a line. It's just I like to keep my charts clean, because now imagine I will have this zone here. I will move to the daily. It will look a bit messy there. You see?
It will look messy, it's true, I agree.
So since I'm gonna draw many of them, of the supply and demand, so I like to keep it 2 lines that have no zone, a little bit there. So let's look at the weekly. This is the current weekly price. Let's look up to the left and find our rally, base, drop, our drop, base, rally, and the drop, base, drop, rally, base, rally. Okay, from the current price, the only area I can see as a drop, base, drop is here is respected area. It's the area in control. I can draw this one with a different color, because now to represent this weekly chart very well. So we'll draw this one and change color to something like blue. We can navy. It's navy, and I took my okay. Since you know that this class was not a very organized class, and I want to apologize for that. When you are drawing a supply and demand, you must know that you have a proximal line, and then you have a distal line. This line here, if you are still with me, this line here, where's my annotation? This line here, the line that is closest to price is the proximal line. The line that is above the price is the distal line. So a proximal line, it can be used for entry. A distal line can be used for placing your stop loss. Okay. So I've drawn my...
Okay, repeat again. So proximal is the one that is nearest to where the price is.
Yes, yes.
And the other one is the one on the week. That is a distal line. The one on the week on top up there.
Yes, a distal line. So if you look, this is the price where I'm making this circle, and then this is the closest to the price where I'm making the second circle. So now the one above the week or above the candle close is a distal line for this case of a supply. So we're gonna go into the case of a demand real quick. I think today we'll cover just 2 topics, this one of supply and demand, and cover the issue of trend lines. And then we try not to make it a too long webinar. Now, on the weekly, let's look down to the left and locate. So this is the current price. Where is this thing? This is the current price. Look down to the left. Down to the left. I hope that's clear. So now I'm gonna locate my area of demand. Sometimes the area will not be visible, but this case we have a drop, base, and a rally. Here is the one. Drop, base, and a rally. So a pacing candle is this. Let me increase my chart. I think it will be very beneficial if I increase my chart. This is with my annotation. Allow me, this is a drop, base, and a rally. Let me make it a bit clearer. This is a drop, these 2 candles. And then this one is a base, the one in between that look like this. The one that look like this, like a cross here. This is an inverted hammer. Inverted hammer is our pacing candle in this case. So it's not the strongest supply because this zone is a bit huge, but we'll draw it anyway. But I would prefer to draw here but it's a tested area of demand. This one. I would prefer. Remember, when you are drawing a demand, make sure you include the last bearish candle. When you are drawing your demand, you include your last bearish candle as a basing candle. So in this case, I will take that one as my basing candle. This is a tested area of demand. Can you all see? So the market did like this. It was dropping.
Yes.
And went up and based here and then rallied and dropped and tested area and rallied. That's how the thing started. So this is a drop, base, and a rally. So this rally took out this this high here, which has a class, which had, I believe it had a cluster of stop losses. It's the one that was took out by this. So let's move on to the daily and find our last, okay, I will draw until the 4 hour. I'm still following, guys. So right now,
Yes.
on the,
We are all following.
let us include a trend line here. A trend line is a diagonal line form of support and resistance. So this one, we will take it as a support. Why is this a support? I'll change the color to lime. Why is this a support, supporting trend line? It's because price touched it once, it touched it twice, now it was touched and broken here. Unfortunately, it was broken, but let us leave it as a trend line because it's telling us that there's a trend, there's a change of trend here. And also there's a potential supply there. Can you see that these high highs are so beautiful? High highs and high lows are very beautiful on this GBP chart. So I'll also predict where GBP is gonna go for next coming week. So on this daily chart, allow me to draw the highest point as a supply. Remember, when we draw a supply from the current price up to the left. Let me do that again. When you draw our, it's the current price here, where I'm gonna try to draw this ugly line. Current price up to the left. Up to the left. And then for a demand down to the left. So let's draw this supply area here quickly before we run out of time. This is how we're gonna draw it. We'll put it like this, and we're gonna change the color to red for this one. We'll change color to red. Let me, what's happening now? I'm trying to copy it. Okay, this is our supply for the daily, which is a rally, base, and a drop. Do we all agree? A rally, the market
do agree.
Rally and a base here and a drop. So now there are two other forms of supply and demand that I can see. I hope you can spot them. But if you don't spot them, don't worry. In due time, with practice and looking at the chart, you will spot them. It's a drop, base, drop. There are two of them. I'm going to mark them now. This is a drop. This is closer to the rally base drop. And then there is a drop, base drop. So
yes,
we are drawing our distal line, remember, and our proximal line. So if I do take the marker now, this is the current price. So this is a distal line. I mean, this is a proximal line. There's distal line above the wick there. So right now, let me try to erase my thing. So let me draw the last supply. I think now we're gonna have a beautiful sale this coming week on this GBP USD. A very, very nice sale. But I do not advise this as a confirmed area of supply, because when you are trading supply and demand, there are so many, odd enhancers. Because in order to confirm this as a supply, as a confirmed supply here, we need at least 2 to 1. It depends if you are a day trader or scalper or swing trader. But if you are a swing trader, you need the market to drop a little bit, 2 more candles, I guess, or 1 candle, and then it will come back to the zone and test it and continue. Are we all together? So now this is still a potential
Yes.
area of supply. This one is a confirmed area of supply, meaning if price this week might do this, because anything is possible in price, it might consolidate a little bit and then when shoot up and pick up the remaining orders there and continue with the trend. So these are the two potential. One is a confirmed area of supply. One is a potential area of supply. So right now, let us go and draw our demand area. So this is our area of demand because this one is a. Can you try to tell me what is the form of a demand? Is it a drop-based drop or a rally-based rally?
That's drop-based rally.
Rally-based.
Yes, it's a drop.
It's a drop-based rally.
Yes, but this one is a tricky one. Allow me to say this one is both. This one is both because if it must be clear like this, my friend. Let me do an annotation here. A drop-based rally must look something like this, like a V. You see, this one is very important to see something like a V. When a supply, you must see something like a upside down V. That's a rally base and a drop. So when it's not clear enough, it's something like not sure 100%. If you take different supply and demand traders, they will say this one is a drop. That one will say it's a rally based rally. Other one will say it's a drop based rally. You see, I can say this one is both of a rally based rally and a drop based and a rally, because this one, if we look candle by candle, it's a rally and a base and a base and a small drop and a base and a rally. So this one is both. Let's allow me to say this one is both. But anyway, we draw it so that we can go to the 4 hour and see how we can look at our 4 hour zone and change the color of the 4 hour zone. Okay, right now, allow me to copy this one and put it there as a demand and put it down there. So potentially this week, I don't see, this week, I think, no, price is very dynamic. At the current price, it can still test there, even if it's not a confirmed area, because it's an engulfing candle, and then continue to this zone. The market move from zone to zone, allow me to say that, or else the market will not retrace to this one and drop to this one. It will just go straight from this one to this one, and people will buy it to here or also the one above the other one, above supply. So let's move on to the 4 hour. Allow me. From the 4 hour, we can zoom in, zoom out and zoom in. On the 4 hour, you might find a very many areas of supply and demand. What's important is to find the one that shows a bit of strength, like a bit of drop, a big drop. So I would take this one as a nested. Okay, there's something called nested area of supply and demand. It means a 4 hour area of supply and demand is inside the area of higher time frame supply and demand. Do we all agree on that? So this one is a nested area of supply and demand. So now I'll change the color to green. It will change to something dark green there, and then I'll draw another line and change the color for the 4 hour area of supply and demand and change to something like yellow. And maybe increase the width of the 4 hour zone. So now, I think it will be very powerful. So the daily area of supply is not confirmed, while the 4-hour area of supply is confirmed. What does that mean? Tomorrow or Tuesday or Wednesday, if the market decide to rally and test this area. So for you, don't sell immediately when the price get to this area. At least sell when the price go and touch this one, this proximal line of the 4-hour. Are we still all together? So from where it is, if it rallies,
Yes,
if it rally back, it is gonna go to the 4-hour area of supply and drop from there. If there are not enough selling orders, it will break it to the next one. So allow me to just draw only one supply on the 4-hour and only one demand, area of demand. And then we can, if you want us to talk about trend lines, we can talk about them or conclude this. Let us find another nested area of demand. It's here. It's a draw, base, and a rally. You all agree? A drop,
yes.
and the rally. This one is an old area of supply and demand, but since it's happening inside the daily area of demand, it's powerful because it's inside the higher time frame supply and demand. That's what make it powerful. So right now I'm gonna draw the proximal line and the distal line, but I want to align it so I can make it a little bit straight line. Okay, so I'll zoom in and copy this. So this is our nested area of demand, which is powerful. When the market, if the market this coming week do something like a drop until here, we buy here. You can buy with a limit order, you can buy with a confirmation, wait for a pin bar to form, wait for an engulfing bar to form, or use a limit order. But if you use a limit order, you remove the emotional part of trading. You remove your fears, meaning you are just planning your trade in advance. So it's a good way of planning your trade. It will drop in this supply and reverse to this other supply. Possibility. I'm not saying something that is 100% that's going to happen, because the market is based on probabilities or staking odds in your favor. So on this, allow me to draw a trend line here on the 4 hours so that we can conclude this webinar. There's a trend line that we can draw here, aggressive trend line. Can you see how beautiful the trend line looks?
Yes.
It's a nice trend line because I will mark it blue. It's a nice trend line because if you still notice correctly, it's tested once there, it's tested twice there. Potentially, if the market come back, it will test it for the 3rd time and drop. Can you see, Charles, how beautiful this trade can become? Because
That's awesome.
there's
Beautiful,
this trend line, and there's also a supply. If it comes back and test it, it's inside that supply. Also, there's this trend line defending it to go down. So it's going to be very nice trade that is to come this coming week. So you can go as low as the 1 hour up till the 5 minutes, depending on your trading style. But for me, if I was the one who's gonna trade this chart, I'm gonna first know what time frame do I want to trade. Do I want to trade the 4 hour and the 15 minute, or do I want to trade? Oh my God!